just about a month on, the Ontario college strike has left over 300,000 students without classes to go to. Over 12,000 full-time and partial load instructors have been marching the picket lines as the late summer we had has been quickly turning to a brief autumn and an early winter. Many may forget the thousands of contracted instructors who do not belong to any union and who have been now almost a month without work and without picket pay to help ease the tide of inevitable debt. This past Wednesday, both students and teachers gathered together in North Bay for the first time to walk the line together outside the office of MPP Vic Fedeli, who also joined the march and was good enough to meet with several students in the warmth of his downtown office.
Probably no way that we can make up the time that we've lost and then be ready to hit placement, basically go into the workforce with the skills that we've been missing out on being taught for the last 4 weeks.
She's right. The chances of the administration being able to salvage the semester for the students are pretty slim. And what becomes of the students' education when they do get back to school, those who can afford it, is still left unknown.
It's not only the current students that are suffering. Former graduates of the RPN and the RN programs, they can't write their license students exams.
Yes.
While the schools are in strike, are on strike.
Yes, I understood
so that. It's affecting students that are in class, and it's also affecting past graduates that want to get their license so that they can work.
It's not even just that they're wasting our time and our money, they're wasting our lives with this. If we get pushed back a semester, we have to deal with so many inconveniences just to make up for it, or we have to start cutting corners in our actual training. And if we're not getting the proper skills that we're taking our degrees and diplomas for, what is the point of going to college?
And there was a statement that I heard on the news the other night where one of the gentlemen from the teachers' negotiations table said that the colleges don't have our best interests in mind and they never have. You know, is there validity to that? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. The other thing is with the teachers being cut off from communications with us, we're being given and we've been handed a one-sided view of this entire situation from the very beginning through propaganda that the colleges are sending us.
You can get the other side right here.
And that's one of the reasons I'm here.
Yeah.
You know,
that's good.
I'm a single mom with 4 kids. I expect to be, like, I went back to school, I expect to be finished at a certain time. I have everything laid out and planned out. This is just like a huge disruption to them, to me, to my potentially when I start work and can make an income again. So it affects us academically, also personally.
Even former students who need to recertify credentials are left out in the cold. Whole families are affected by the strike also. Young parents in college, mature students preparing their kids for post-secondary, not to mention those who intend to graduate or hit placement come December and the new year.
My other side of things isn't just about my education. I have a child who's in high school who's looking at going to college within the next 4 or 5 years. If all of this is worth it for quality of education for him, I'm okay with being a pawn. Because that's part of my role as being a parent. My other concern is it's somebody who's going into a field like I am, where I'm going to be working with at-risk people in the population. Is my quality of education now in jeopardy if we go back to school and they save this semester? I believe it is. I believe the only way to really address this is to come back with a plan that not only gets us back to school, but gets us the full quality of education that we paid for and figures out a way to make that happen. If our next semester has to go a couple weeks longer to get that full plan, so be it. But the plan to just get kids back to school or just get students back to school isn't good enough for students that want an education. We had a class last semester that all of the material that we were taught was from the 70s and 80s, and it was on first.
And it was from the textbook.
And it was on Indigenous rights and the lives of First Nations people. And the fact that the college can't even supply us with information that's more current than the 70s and 80s.
Quality of education is a very important issue when taking what is likely to end up being well over a month out of a student's semester. And with regards to teaching outdated information about Indigenous peoples, especially in a community like North Bay, I think it becomes all too glaring that we have little to celebrate in this our 150th year as Canadians.
I am Marla McCarty. I am an alumni of the Theatre Arts program, and I'm here to support my teachers. Theatre Arts, most of the teachers, I think we only have one teacher in our whole program that's not on contract. I have a lot of respect for it, and I think that they deserve way more than they're getting, to be honest. And that's why I'm here, because I want to support them.
I support 100% what they're fighting for. academic freedom, full-time positions. This is our future. So
You know, I'm sort of stuck in this spot where I want to be back at school, I want to get the education, but what's the sense in even paying for it if it's outdated? Like, just resolving it doesn't solve the problem. We need the quality of education that these people are fighting for.
I know for myself, I'm done being used as a bargaining chip.
And that's how you feel.
That's how I feel. We're the bargaining chip. They're playing with us because they know that the faculty want to be back in. So they're hoping that they will cave and take something to get back into the class.
Everybody feel that way?
Yeah.
A student should never be made to feel as a pawn or bargaining chip, though it is clear that Ontario students are getting a first-class education in the inadequacies of the province's unions and administrations. Teachers deserve better pay for quality education. And while I agree that academic freedom is important, I think students should recognize the potential dangers of total academic freedom for teachers. We should be open-minded, but not so open that our brains fall out. We need to maintain a standard of education that is current and relevant for each community, each province, and for the country. Anthony Leclerc, Swept Media.